and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sunshine Zee, and if you're new here, you're absolutely welcome. And for my subscribers, as always, I appreciate you. Happy new month to you, and I hope you're doing well. Today's video, I've actually got something quite special, something a bit different for a change, and I hope to have something like this for the rest of the month. We'll see how it goes, but let's get into today's video. In today's episode, as you would have seen from the title, I have a special guest. That's my friend Tlangi. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself, but we're going to speak about her career. Actually, she's in a very interesting field. It's not a very common field, and I thought let me just bring her on here to tell us about what she does for a living, but we'll get into that. For now, let's meet Tlangi, my very long time friend. We've known each other for how many years?
Since we were 19.
Okay,
yeah.
Since we were 19, probably like about 10 years, because we're 29 now, right?
Yeah.
So before we reveal our age, we've known each other since varsity. That's where we met, actually. So what I want you to do is tell us your name, because I said she's Tlangi, but that's what I know her as. Maybe she has like an online name or something. Tell us about yourself, Tlangi.
Hi everybody. Hi Z again. As Z said, I'm known as Tlangi, but my full name, my birth certificate is Tlangelani Mkhatshwa. Yeah, like.
Is that all?
I'm very shy, you know, so
since
like I'm the shyest person ever. But give me a topic and I'll talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Actually, so tell us about where you grew up, where you're from. Maybe a little bit about your childhood as well.
Okay. I'm originally from Limpopo. I'm a twin.
Actually, forgot to mention that.
It's actually strange when you introduce yourself. You never say, "Hi, I'm Tlangi, I'm a twin." Like, you don't say that because people are like, "Why didn't you tell me you're a twin?" I was like, no. Like, must I tell people? But either way, like I said, I'm from Limpopo.
Yeah.
Originally from Limpopo.
Sorry. Quick shout out to Mika.
Yeah.
Basically the three of us were friends. So yeah, it was like I got a 2-for-1 special type of thing. But fortunately I could tell them apart, and I was always proud of that fact.
Yeah. No, you were the only person that actually could.
Yeah, it was like some kind of a, like special skill that I can tell them apart. But that's because they're actually quite different, even though they look the same, but they're different. Even their voices are different.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just wanted to say shout out to Mika. Sorry for disturbing.
No problem. I'm used to it.
Don't expose me.
Hence, she has the YouTube channel. So anyways, guys, I'm from Hoedspruit, but originally, you know, this moving throughout the years.
Yeah.
So originally, I'm from a small village called Miti, meaning water. Definitely, it's funny how we didn't have water, but the place is called water. It's cold water. So either way, the village that I'm from, it's very close to your Kruger National Parks, any type of game like Limpopo, we reach in terms of that. So like Z said, today we're talking about
her career.
Yes. So that's how growing up in that type of environment, that's how I slowly got introduced to that. During the school holidays, my aunt used to work in Kruger National Park. Yes. So basically the basic income for the villagers or the people in the village, they work in the Kruger. Some is guides, some is hut attendants, which is also named as cleaners, you know. So going to Kruger was probably just a normal thing to do.
Nice. So you guys didn't have to like pay. I've never been to
No.
Kruger, by the way. But you guys didn't. It wasn't like this whole like thing. You guys were just like, I can go Kruger.
Yeah, like for us, it's just normal. On holidays, you kids.
Imagine
we all go
that.
You actually know, you don't know how blessed you are till you
Yeah.
actually get exposed to the other people.
Yeah, to think people pay like I don't know thousands.
Yeah,
Is that expensive?
especially for international rates, it's actually very expensive to spend.
Wait, are you saying they charge differently for an international visitor than for?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
not the entrance itself, but when
Uh-huh.
it comes to the different accommodations,
Mhm.
you pay.
I didn't know.
You
that.
pay.
But I've never been.
But
so I
but
wouldn't
remember,
know.
for them, even if it's international, it's still cheaper for them because
Yeah,
they just.
because of our currency.
Yeah, so for them it's not that bad. So going to Kruger every holidays, I got very, very curious, especially seeing those monkeys, the naughty monkeys, they're stealing your food and stuff like that. So I got curious and wanting to know more, and obviously no one could answer. Like then another aunt of mine introduced us to a course called nature conservation.
Okay.
So that course, you could either do it in TUT or CPUT.
So
Now
so you grew up next to the Kruger, as you
Yes.
said, and then you got exposed to animals and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just started developing a love for
love for it,
that
and I
kind
think
of
it was more of a curiosity, wanting to know more about this nature that we remember. In the villages, you only get exposed to your domestic animals, which are your chickens, your dogs.
Yes.
Then suddenly now you're exposed to wild animals.
Mm.
You only would hear about your lions, you would hear about your zebras and stuff like that, but you actually have never seen it.
Okay.
So obviously, even if you go to Kruger, your aunt or your family cannot actually afford those game drives that they
Yeah.
offer.
Mhm.
So you still don't see them. You
Okay.
get exposed to see the basic animals, your impalas. We call them the KFC of Kruger because it's everywhere. They're everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no way you can go into Kruger and not see an impala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, impalas and your springbok, and hence,
Okay.
yeah.
Guys, KFC of Kruger. Wow.
So we went to CPET. That's where we met.
Yes.
It's nature conservation. It's a 3-year course, which the third year you do your practicals. Your practicals, you have to do them in any type of nature reserve that lasts for the whole year, which you have to complete your different courses in soil science. There's different sections in terms of the environment.
Mhm.
So completed that.
Was it difficult to complete?
It was actually, because when you go to the work itself, some managers don't understand. They expect you to actually still do 100% work, forgetting that you're actually a student to actually complete, or you get placed in a very, very remote reserve that there's nothing. Literally, they actually use you as a slave to actually just if you're unlucky, you'll be a tour guide for the whole year. What are you learning from being a tour guide?
Yeah.
Only because remember, our course is more diverse, so you have to do like different sections of your course. So you cannot be doing one thing in your paperwork type of thing. Imagine doing a spreadsheet January to January, and you're actually supposed to do the other things. So that's the problem that other students faced, and it made them fail. So I was fortunate that I got placed in
So
a.
you were with Sandparks, right?
I was working under Sandparks,
Okay.
but the section that I'm working in, we were in the Western Cape. So it was Table Mountain National Park. Very, very fortunate to actually have landed there. So I was in Cape Point. Those who travel or who know,
I've actually never been.
You've never been? Oh, my friend. Oh.
So embarrassing. Stayed in Cape Town all those years,
Sure.
and I've done most of the stuff, but this is like after I moved out of Cape Town, which is funny. When we were in Cape Town, we never did all the touristy stuff. So I did most of the touristy things, but I still haven't done Cape Point.
No,
I need to go back.
Yeah, definitely. It's worth it. It's worth it. So I worked in Cape Point. Then career-wise, I grew very fast. I was actually very fortunate that I grew very fast. I don't know if I should go into details, but yeah, it was, what do you call it? I got groomed there. I got to learn a lot of things. I even, when I started being a manager, I also started managing a tourist camp. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. I had to do a lot of reading.
You were in the road.
Yeah, I had to literally like research on how to do like a whole tourist. It was like more of a glamping site type of thing. So imagine if it was just straight camping, there wouldn't be complaints. But glamping, you know, people are still expecting the best bed sheets, the best everything.
You want to do that?
No, glamping is more of your style, my friend.
Yeah. I think that's more in line with my brand.
Glamping is more of your style. So I worked in Cape Town for a couple of years. Then I actually moved in Joburg in 2016.
Thank you.
So I still consider myself a new person in Joburg. I know.
You've been here.
I know, but I feel like I'm very new in Joburg. So.
And she left her twin back in Cape Town.
That's still sad. Yeah, that's still sad.
Yeah, so you came to Joburg.
I came to Joburg, worked for government. I'm not going to mention the name. Worked for the government organization. Then I got, in Cape Town, I was doing something different, but obviously environment. But in Joburg, I got to be introduced to a different type of environmental things that I'm doing. So yeah, which is actually very interesting. I'm actually loving this part of the environment that I'm actually doing now. Yeah.
But okay, so you mentioned that you were a manager back in in Cape Town, in the Western Cape. And then when you came here, were you still on the same career path, or as you're saying, you did something different? Were you now in a different sort of section of the same career path?
Same career path, but a lower position with more money.
Good for you, my friend. Good for you.
So it's still worth it for me. It's still worth it, and then I'm closer to family. So you know, family is more important. Yeah. So
So I actually want Tlangi to tell us exactly what does she do now. Okay, she's not gonna go into what she used to do unless you want to do that. But because the reason I brought her onto this episode is for her, because she always tells us these stories, and I'm just like, your stories are so interesting, and this career is just so, you know, there's some stories to what she actually does on a day-to-day. So what is it that you are doing currently? What is the name of the job or the title?
I'm an environmental management inspector, but the title, it's in itself, it says biodiversity, specialized biodiversity officer. So I special I never really say that part. I just say it's called EMI, environmental management inspector, but we deal with environmental crimes all around Gauteng. When I say environmental crimes, I say anything from, I specialize in wildlife, which is your wild animals. I don't deal with dogs and cats. I deal with anything that shouldn't be in your house.
You know what? Okay, so here's the major difference between me and Tlangi, right? I'm scared of dogs, cats. Like any animal, I'm sure even an ant, I'm scared of an ant. Like, I'm just, anything to do with anything, birds, everything, right? So here's the difference. If I have somehow found myself in this career, I probably want to deal with the dogs and the cats. But Tlangi said no. She wants to deal with rhinos and just these wild animals. What's that like?
I love the wild animals. Like, I don't know. It's just a passion. Yes, you've got your dogs, and people are surprised that I don't even have a pet.
Yeah, actually, but it's a good thing because I don't think I'd visit with a pet.
I'd rather have my wild animals.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, we investigate environmental crimes. Yes, in Gauteng, we've got a lot of illegal activities happening in Gauteng.
Interesting.
Most of these activities originally happen in other provinces, like your Limpopos, your Northwest. Then they move them to Gauteng.
How would they even move them?
Illegally, obviously. It depends what they have, throughout the night, or just randomly hire an ordinary lady that's just driving, an old lady. They pay you this amount. They say you give you an address. You just go deliver it.
So what would you be delivering? Like when we say wild animals, Pela, I'm thinking like I'm saying rhino. I don't know. I'm just thinking like
elephant.
Giraffe. How would you transport a giraffe? Like, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But what are you
okay? The common problems or the common cases that we find in Gauteng, you find your pangolins. Unfortunately, we should have actually had pictures.
Don't worry, we can put it somewhere here. I will Google it and we'll put it somewhere.
That's the problem with in Gauteng, because each and every province, they've got their own problem cases, or the most common cases. So for us, it's between poaching the rhino horns and also your poaching of the pangolins, because those are high value products or high value animals when it comes to the illegal trade industry. So they usually bring those from Limpopo and bring them to Gauteng and sell it off to someone who wants to sell it off to an Asian person or continent anyway. They just want to sell it off. Wow. Like for instance, like a rhino horn, it's weighed, like they sell it per kg in the.
And how much is it? Because I can't believe that it still happens. And you say
it still happens a lot. It still happens a lot.
I don't know. Maybe because we don't hear so much about it. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's me who's not hearing about it anymore.
It's not you.
I really hear from you that it's still actually happening, and I think that's just so heartbreaking. That do we even have any rhinos with horns
remember the other day I called you, was like, hey, I'm passing by your place. They kind of killed 2 rhinos. Zee was like, what? Where are you going around here?
Like exactly, because I live in Randburg. Where are the rhinos? It's like. Are there rhinos around?
Yeah, unfortunately it still happens, and obviously it's mostly inside jobs. I mean, how would you know where the rhinos are? How would you know the type of security the people have? It's always, unfortunately, it's inside jobs. And who suffers? It's the animals that suffer in the process of some greedy person. And you cannot say you're doing it because you're hungry.
No,
we all have
a lot of things that you could
we're just
do.
not losing weight, but we are hungry.
But there's a lot of things that you could do than actually hurt animals. So as much as I'm not necessarily too interested in animals, but it really breaks my heart to hear you speak about, poaching of rhino horns. And that's why I'm asking, are there even any rhinos with horns anymore in this country? Because it feels like it's been happening for so many years, and it's just such a major problem.
What we're actually trying to encourage rhino owners is for them to dehorn them. A dehorn, it's a process where you obviously you have to dart the animal for then you cut actually the horn off. The horn is like it's like a keratin, like in the nail.
Yes.
You cut off your nails and it grows back.
Yes.
So it's the same with the rhino horn. They cut it off. After a couple of years or 2 years at the most, it grows back.
Okay.
So you keep on doing that. It's a process that you need to do like every 2 years. We actually encourage them. So there's no way you can poach it or you can kill it if it doesn't have a horn.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a
prevention.
Yes, to prevent.
I see.
Yeah, but other owners don't prefer to do it. But yet we do end up having calls of them losing the actual rhinos. I mean, the other day it was a mother and a child. I mean, that was like I'm not a very emotional person, but seeing that picture, it was just
even you talking about it, it's like dampening my spirit because it's like, why?
Exactly.
Why would you do this? Because I think all of us would like for our children's children and their children to be able to see what a rhino actually looks like. Not just have to Google the picture, but to actually be able to see one. But the more this happens and people are killing the rhinos, like the less the likelihood of our great grandchildren actually having to see what a rhino looks like. Okay, so what else?
Yeah.
So you investigate that, sorry.
We investigate that. Also, people are actually forgetting about the smaller animals. They're busy looking at the big five, and especially funding. It's very difficult to get funding for the smaller mammals, which is actually unfair. The most illegal or unintentional activities that happens is with this actually smaller animals, like your... what do you call it? I'm trying to think of an animal that's very common for someone, like your meerkats.
Oh.
Your puma, not puma, Timon.
Oh, Timon.
Yes.
We had I didn't even know we had.
Yeah, but like your Timons, people love them to keep them as pets.
Oh.
Yeah.
People are weird. Why would you keep that?
Weird.
So you find that?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, go to Vereeniging side, So like I said, we're all over Gauteng. So there's places that are known for this type of animals. Like your Captain Park is known for their tigers. Your tigers.
Tigers?
I can never get over your face.
Like Kempton Park tigers, how?
It's known for their tigers.
So,
like, tiger owners are mostly where
do they get the tigers from?
That's another thing. We don't allow import of tigers into the province. Yes, you can apply for a permit, but 90% of the chances is going to be declined because most people don't have the perfect yards for such things. We actually don't even want them to keep it.
I think that's why it's blowing my mind is that, okay, so somebody has a yard, a normal yard. Like, I mean, really, Kempton Park, you wouldn't have like huge yards. No. Ordinary big yards. And a person has a tiger.
Yeah.
What does the tiger eat? Like,
those who were actually following online, there was actually an outbreak or a story that broke out where the tiger was peeping through a nursery school or something like that. It went viral, and obviously our department was informed, and we had to go there, and it was a whole frenzy about it.
Wow, your job is very interesting. You see what I'm talking about, the stories. I didn't know there's tigers in Kempton Park. Now I'm never going to drive in Kempton Park safely again. I'm just going to be like...
just in case.
Just look out for the tiger, okay?
So also, when it comes to tigers, there's a certain race that loves it as a status. It's like once you've made it in life, you just buy a tiger because to show that you are rich. As normal people buy a Ferrari. Exactly, I wanted to say that, but for their status, you buy such an animal to show that you're rich.
Where do they buy it? Like, I don't
illegally
know.
So there's illegal breeders who actually specialize in breeding them. Then they sell them in the black market. So if you just Google how to buy,
so there's like black market for everything, even animals. Who knew that?
There's literally trades in everything, even plants. They've been smuggled. Your succulents, there's a whole, especially in the Northern Cape. In the Northern Cape, succulents are being poached, but mostly it's international people coming as a tourist, going to national park, you act as a tourist, and you know where the specific plants that you want. You smuggle them. You hire your local community, which they don't earn much, or they're actually unemployed. You hire them to go at night, steal those plants. You arrange a meeting point. Illegally outside of the country, you post them in as if you're sending mail out of the country. That's how they smuggle it out of the airports and stuff like that. Or they disguise it as something, then they take it out of...
and at the airports, they probably don't even check for plants.
Like, imagine the whole of Gauteng using I know there's Lanseria, but the chances of international flights, you most likely to go to a busy area where the staff are overworked, and while you checking,
that's a whole other story. Actually,
that's a whole while they check in, you just like make small talk so that they don't focus on the screen, or you like, hey, a brown envelope type of situation. It happens everywhere.
So what do they do with the succulents?
It's got a whole lot of different medicinal value, like
okay, that makes sense. But still, like,
others are connectors, like I just we have connectors and stuff like that.
But can't they just like grow it themselves? I'm not even sure.
No. Remember South Africa, we've got the most diverse when it comes to plants and animals. Like your fynbos, it's the only place where you actually find that whole. The fynbos is actually found in the Cape. It's if you're a plant lover, you'll know how precious we have. You'll be like, wow. We have a gemstone in our hands. South
Africa is a nice place.
It's actually very, very valuable. People fly from different countries just to see a certain plant or just to see a certain bird. Like people are actually fanatics. I thought we had like the gold, a little bit of diamonds here and there. Can't we have plants and animals? People are fanatics out there. They travel the world to see a certain plant or whatever. Like they do.
I'm learning so much. I
know, it's a pleasure.
I am learning so much. So we'll be right back.
2 hours later.
So you said that you investigate these cases, right?
Yes.
So now I'd like to know how do you investigate? So how do you find out there's a tiger in Kempton Park, and what do you do after finding out?
Okay, I'll make an example of what actually happened.
Okay.
We had a complaint. Okay, our cases, you either a member of the public complains, or from our previous investigations we find out the information. So this one, it was a member of the public that complained. I think it was a cousin. For instance, me and you are friends. I know you have a lion in your house and I'm okay with it, but till me and you fight, then I'm like, show you.
Okay.
I'll show you, then I call. So in that case that I'm actually going to give you an example about, so the person called us with information and actually took pictures and then called us and said, hey, this and this happened, and gave us more information. Obviously, if you're going to complain or you're going to call us, please make sure that you give us the full details. We need to know the person's address, their full names, and what is the problem. If you have evidence, 100%. Okay. 100%.
Is this public knowledge like that we should call? Because I don't know about this.
It is, but I actually, to tell you the truth, most people actually don't know.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Honestly,
so can you give me the details, and we're gonna just put them down in the description box?
I will definitely.
So that the people can know who to call, how to call.
I will definitely.
As she said, that include all the details.
Yes.
Okay.
Wild animals.
Oh, okay.
Domestic, call SPCA.
Okay, so I'll include SPCA's number. We all know SPCA.
Yes, for any domestic type of.
If you don't know SPCA, then I don't know.
Today you know.
No, but I mean, I think that's the most common one. You know, if there's like dogs or whatever that we see, then we call SPCA. So, okay, for wild animals, you give us the details. I'll include both details, SPCA and your details.
No problem. So, we work in partners. For our own protection. Remember, we once the person is being charged, a criminal record they'll have a criminal record. So they'll do anything to actually keep themselves from getting a criminal record. It's either they threaten your life or they try to bribe.
So you go there?
Of course.
So a person has seen a lion and we know you go there.
We go there towards the lion.
Okay.
So, I work with my colleague. We went to the place, but then not to actually speak to the people, to scout the place, meaning to do surveillance of the place.
So you're like investigators.
We're for real.
Like, do you have like particulars?
We're for real, because through experience, we've experienced that Lion and monkey owners, oh my gosh, they're so aggressive. They become...
How would they not be aggressive? They have lions and monkeys.
They're actually very protective over them. So we know that when you approach such a situation, you don't just casually go, like if someone has a tortoise or something like that. So
those people have to... Okay, let's not digress.
Yeah, so we did our surveillance and we found out more information that they won't just let you in because they know they're not supposed to have this lion in the house. So we had to go through the magistrate.
Eat. I'm sorry. Like my mind is like, what does the lion eat? Do you have a name for it? Like
they do.
Simba or something. Like I don't know. Is it like a pet for them?
For them, it's like a child.
A child.
A pet is different.
Keep
a
quiet,
child is a whole different level.
I'm gonna keep quiet because I think I know which race these people are. Okay.
So we had to go the court way, which applying for a search warrant because they won't just let you in.
Yes.
So we involved an organization called Stop Theft. It was just them and us, which from Nature Conservation and the police. Yeah.
Okay.
So we arrived at the place, all clean and ready, really. Like, sometimes you're going there for a fight. You know you're not going to be nice and sweet. You're going for a fight.
Oh.
So we get there, the owner comes. But Sukela iso. Like, sir, you don't even know what we want, but already we shouting like, why are you aggressive?
Yeah,
I think he knew.
Sus right
He actually knew. So we introduce ourselves, why we're there, and can we actually like search. He denied having the lion or the cub. It was actually a lion cub. Up to our knees. We short, but still.
Yeah, so it's a little small.
Yeah, up to our knees and stuff like that. So he denied.
But
We
I
showed
can
him.
imagine that one is a bit cute, but still.
Oh. So we showed him the search warrant. He had no choice but to. No, before we actually showed him the search warrant, goes to his house, goes back in. I'm a professional gunsman, whatever.
So
Today,
you with guns.
vandag ons sal almal doodgaan. Vandag ons sal almal doodgaan. Stroeskot. Okay, I know I'm gonna die one day, but I don't think I wanna die for a lion.
I didn't know your job was this dangerous thing. Is your life insured?
So this other colleague of ours, policeman, was like, okay, but you're gonna die first. I don't know how you're gonna wake up and shoot us first. Shoot us again.
So they literally could be like a gun thing.
Definitely. That's how hectic it was. Till we actually said, search warrant. Search warrant. He had no choice. But then they thought they were smart. The wife, they were hiding the lion in another like place at the corner because it's like a farming plot type of situation.
Right.
So they were hiding the lion on the other side. Then said, oh, okay, come in. We get in the house, but you can see if especially if you have experience, you can see that there's an animal in this house. Like no matter how clean your house is, there's still some evidence that there's an animal. We search, and we're 100% sure that it's there. We search. So my colleague and I, we go outside because he was showing them the other cage. There was another animal that he's keeping, but those are legal. We go outside. We're like, hi, this guy, man, where did he hide this thing? Guess what? On the other side of the fence, we see the worker, because he has workers, we see the worker pulling the tail of the lion because the lion wants to go out to play because I think that area is the play area for the lion.
Oh, okay.
So he's pulling the lion back inside the house so that we don't see it outside, but the lion doesn't want to hear anything about it. Like,
because it's a lion, it's not like a dog or something that can be like obedient or whatever.
I was shocked. Then, like, within a few seconds, it linked to me like, yay,
So even these workers, are they using foreigners? Because I'm thinking, Yeah, no.
You know.
I don't know.
You know.
Our people, sorry, but I don't know a South African that would work for people that has lions. I'm just, I don't know. It just doesn't, you know. Like, I feel like he would come back home and tell us, hey, Makwa Alana Lidita, guys.
He won't keep it to himself.
I just don't see it happening. And you know how it is, communication, they'll be like, Kukai, Jonah, Maka. And then you'll probably be like, you know, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So if you are keeping illegal animals,
don't hire your South African guys.
Okay, now we're giving them advice. No.
Okay.
Just don't have illegal animals. So now you see it.
I see it. Everyone goes out and sees this lion. Then they give up. I was like, okay, they found.
Okay.
Now, many are safe for us. What Hananiso?
Exactly.
Now he's all Mzalwane, Christian on us.
What is he saying?
Hi guys, I guess Yammer. You know, I thought you were gonna take it. Yeah, we're gonna take it. Like it doesn't change. The wife starts crying.
White woman and
I call me heartless or what? I don't. It doesn't touch me anymore. If someone is crying, you do something illegal, you're not gonna cry out your way. You cry your way out of the situation.
No,
it's like it's my kid. No. We feed it. It eats Woolies chicken. I was like,
it eats
Woolies chicken. Pause.
Guys, did you hear
that? Take that in. Take that in.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's a lion cub. Is it a lion cub?
Yeah.
That eats Woolies chicken. Like, I'm not okay. I can't happy, guys. I can't happy. I can't afford Woolies chicken.
Only Woolies chicken. We're not saying sometimes only Woolies chicken.
Where did they even get it?
So, okay, the story that they said they were rescuing it. Someone was selling it at some garage, and they bought one of them for that.
At some garage?
At some garage. No, they lie. Because obviously it was bought illegally somewhere else, not at some
Doesn't
garage.
she have her own actual children to take care of?
No, she doesn't.
But like she could adopt. I feel especially in this country, I don't want to go into that conversation, but like really you can
We're not short of children.
An actual child.
We're not short of children in South Africa.
Not at all. Not at all. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this who are like, I'll offer myself to come and eat Woolies chicken, okay?
No, we actually spend 30K a month because for a lion cub, you don't just buy milk at Woolies or whatever. It's a very, very special type of milk diet they need to have. So she was telling me. Where do you get the milk? You buy it at the vets and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, so the vet would be selling it for other animals.
The wild animals who actually, remember, if it's a vet, wild animals would, the people will be taking, not the people, the reserves will be taking to vet if something is injured and stuff like that. So that milk is actually specialized for wild animals. So that are in captivity, like your zoos and stuff like that. Yes.
So I'm thinking this lady and her husband, when they went to the vet, what would they have said? They would have probably lied.
But by law, if a vet knows an illegal activity that's happening, or someone brings a wild animal but they know that you're not supposed to have it, they're supposed to report it. But not everyone goes by the book.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
I'm
the
thinking
problem.
There should be some kind of like a law or rule or policy that says you need to say, okay, this is the wild animal I have and this is why I need the milk.
They even if they say it, but the vet is actually supposed to report it, but they don't.
There's just a lot of corruption in this country.
It's so
I'm
bad.
realizing even at that level, how did they get the milk? So they're buying this expensive milk for this cub, and they're saying they spend 30K per month.
Per week.
Huh?
Per week.
Where are they getting 30K per week?
They like to act so poor, but they're actually not.
30.
People have money out there, Zee. People have money.
But wait, so if you earn 30K per month in South Africa, right? You are in the top 1%. So these people that's just mind blowing. They're spending 30K per week.
Per week for an animal, not for the family. for the animal itself. So just to go out a little bit of topic, when was it 2 weeks back we're investigating this other plant case. Yes, plants.
Like he investigates the weirdest things. But
Yes, plants. So this guy's like, no, I paid this guy, I paid him 150,000, but she wants more for 2 plants. So a plant can go over 60k, which was like the cheapest plant. It's called Succulents. Zee will also put a picture of that. Succulents, they're worth a hectic. They call it Mjaji from Limpopo.
Okay.
Mjaji, I don't know if Gautengers know. But yeah, so anyways, just to show you how much money there is in this industry. So
I wouldn't have ever imagined that there's a lot of money like changing hands.
There is.
I thought you guys just, I don't know, keep the animals nice and healthy. You know? Yeah, like I just imagine that's what you do. But when she started telling me all these stories, I'm just like, what is happening? You know, your job is so interesting. But I actually have to say that I feel like you do better investigations than actual police when it comes to actual cases, because I feel like you guys are actually closing these cases.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, no, there is, because now to fast forward to just not make the story long. Obviously, we got a vet to that the animal, the lion, and then we immediately arrest. So he was loaded in the police van, straight to court, straight to the police. I think it was during the week. So he appeared in court, got bail. Then we did our case, went to court to testify, and the final verdict, he was convicted.
And how many years does he get?
He didn't get years. He got a hectic fine,
which is
over 100,000. I don't want to mention the exact amount.
Okay.
Yeah, over 100,000 he had to pay for that, and he was actually banned from having any type of animal in his yard and stuff.
Not even like a dog or anything. Wow.
So yeah, that's just one of them. Just one of them.
There's another side of life that honestly, personally, I didn't know much about this, and it's just interesting to me. So when you go to court, are you then the specialist that's called in to testify?
Yes. It depends. If I'm the lead investigating officer, I cannot still also be the specialist. So my colleague or someone else, depending on what, especially if let's take for example a snake case. I'll be the lead investigating officer. We get someone from Pretoria Zoo, some doctor, any person that specializes in snakes, because there's different specialized in different things. They will be like having a statement for us. Then they can be witnesses and stuff like that.
Okay, so what are you supposed to prove during the whole court procedure?
On the, I'll make an example of the lion case. He was claiming he didn't know. Remember, ignorance of the law, it's not an excuse. I mean, like, you cannot go and kill someone and claim you didn't know, then you get score-free. I mean, you need to do your research and stuff like that. So we prove possession.
Okay.
Indeed, the person had them in their possession. We try to prove knowledge in terms of the person has been to a vet. Okay. Meaning they knew that it's basic knowledge that a lion is a wild animal. So you have to prove that. You can also add charges like being stopping an officer from doing their job, where he didn't want us to go in, threatening us. There's a lot of things that you can add on the case. So we use the legislation. Hence I say, if you're dealing with environmental crime, you must also know your legislation. Okay. So you don't just...
So it's almost like you're a police officer, you're a lawyer, you have so much going on.
So yeah, we deal with the environmental legislation, which is the NEMBA, and also the ordinance. So ordinance 12 of 83, those who want to look it up. Then also the NEMBA of NEMBA 12 of 2010 of 2004. Yes, that's the
And I've
legislation.
seen you do roadblocks as well.
Roadblocks, we work together with the traffic police or the police itself when it comes to roadblocks, because there's a hunting season. Remember, when it comes to the environment, we're not saying don't enjoy the environment, don't like hunt, don't fish. We're not saying don't, but follow the rules. Remember, we need to have sustainability for these things to last for the next generations. We cannot be selfish about it. We need to save some for them, for the future generation. So when we say it's hunting season, yes, hunt in your private farm, hunt wherever you want, but have a permit. So during those roadblocks, we check for those people who are hunting, if they have permits, they didn't illegally poach it at someone's farm, they didn't, basically those type of things that we search for in a roadblock.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's why I never wanted an office job. I mean, I won't survive.
You're very outdoorsy.
Yeah,
so
I won't survive.
For you to just be out there. Although now it's a bit risky because now there's people threatening you with guns and all of that. But you seem like you enjoy your job.
I love it. The best thing ever. The best decision
And what
ever.
would be your advice to somebody who's interested in this? Maybe they're watching this and they're like, wow, I want to be involved in this. This sounds like fun. I don't know how, but somebody might be like, oh, this sounds like so much fun. What would you advise them to do?
Have passion for it. Do it for the love of it, because money is not. If you want to be rich and drive that dream car, I don't think this is for
not.
you. This is for you. Love it with all your heart. And the fact of the feeling of going home knowing that you've saved that animal from being abused by so-called animal lovers, but they don't know. Like you take care of an animal, but you don't know how to actually take care of it. But you.
Can I ask, has anybody ever been like bitten by it? Like, because these are wild animals. Has anyone ever gotten injured by their own?
Obviously.
Then what happens when you go to the hospital? What do you say? My pet lion.
I would make an example in terms of your exotic snakes that are not originally from South Africa. So there's a whole trade about it, which when it comes to exotic legislation and exotics, it's a whole different ball game. So anyways, someone would keep a exotic snake, pet, it grows too big, my cage is too big, or I don't love it anymore, I'm bored, I want something else. Guess what they do? They just release it in the wild. Zee goes hiking on that weekend. Zee gets bitten by that snake that doesn't belong in South Africa. Goes to the hospital. Where are we gonna get anti-venom for that snake?
Exactly.
Where? Because they can look through, they can give you any type of anti-venom, but if it's not for that specific snake, that's why they advise you, if you get bitten by a snake, if you can, safely so, take a picture, a clear picture.
Of the snake. I don't think I'm going hiking anytime soon, first of all, because flying has just ruined the experience.
No, it will actually save your life, because they need to know.
I'm getting bit. Like, do you understand?
Remember, the chances of a snake biting you twice at the same time are very low.
What will it do?
Let's not
even talk about. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have nightmares. But okay, for the sake of information, how will a snake bite?
Just one.
But
like,
will it go? Like
remember,
that?
it has like those two fangs. And
will it hold on?
It depends on the type of snake it is.
Oh, okay.
It depends on this. Some are not venomous, but they'll still bite you. You'll just get like soreness, whatever, but you won't die.
So you're saying while this is happening, I must try my
no, like let's take you with someone or try to at least describe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Won't it run away or
no, it will obviously, but just try to describe it. Yeah, but describing it by color is not always the best, because sometimes when they're still small, the colors are different from when they are bigger. But usually you would know the type of area. If you can say I was in Arte BS, whatever, then they kind of know what type of snakes are there or common there, so they would go around that area. But yeah, it's very important to actually know.
But I'm not going high.
Yeah, we are.
No, I'm not going hiking because people are growing snakes and they're just putting them out in the wild.
Yeah.
And, like I'm saying, like what if it scratches you, or I don't know, guys. I feel like it's so dangerous. But I guess for them, I don't know, the pleasure.
I think the funny one was this guy had crocodiles. so obviously he was not allowed to keep them. So my colleague was like, yeah, we have to take these crocodiles away from you. Then now it's comes to a situation where who's gonna catch them? We're like, I'm not diving into the pool with crocodiles just to catch them.
Wait, they were in the pool, swimming pool.
So yeah, my colleague was like, it's your crocodile, you jumping.
Who, to the guy? Okay, yeah, because
it's yours. you catch them.
How, like, this video is gonna be too long if we get into
no,
how
I won't even. Yeah,
it's just mind blowing to me where he got the crocodile from. How did he transport it, and now he put it in his pool to what? To look at it.
I don't know. I
guess I don't get the pleasure that people get from having wild animals.
I think a game drive is enough.
I've never even done a game drive. I think I should one day.
If you have that type of passion, I think that's enough. I mean, you can go to zoos, you can go to anywhere just to see them, and there's other zoos that allow petting, but I don't encourage that. I mean, a wild animal should remain wild. I mean, why are we?
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
So yeah,
I am mind blown. First of all, why are people so weird? I don't know. I don't get it. Why you'd want to have a snake or a crocodile or a lion?
A lot of things, A lot of things are being kept in captivity.
But you know what? I can tell you're very passionate about what you do, and she's always telling us these stories. So she's got stories for days.
Yeah.
And as you said, you know, people need to have a passion for it. And what would you recommend they study in order to be in that?
So you can still study. You can either study nature conservation itself or environmental management. And then you can diverse. I mean, like I said, I'm doing plants and animals. There's your normal air pollution. So when it comes to the environment, it's divided into the different colors. You've got your green, which is your plants and animals. Okay. You've got your brown, which is your waste, your waste management, your air pollution, your dumpings and stuff like that. And then you've got your blue. Your blue, anything to do with coastal. Coastal environment. I
was going to say sky and birds. Right,
no, blue starts with your oceans and coasts, anything regarding that. So you can diverse. You can even work in a mine to do the environmental impact assessments in different companies. Before they build anywhere in the country, you need to have your impact assessment done. Yeah. There's places where we shouldn't have built, but it's built because of your brown envelopes. Mall of Africa. I didn't say that.
But it's a fact.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's different you're not gonna be, especially if you don't like animals, I mean, but you still like the environment.
Yeah, because I think personally, I think we know more about like you said, the brown.
Yes, and your waste and your air pollution.
Yes. So even the people who work at the mines, the environmental people, yes. But I don't think a lot of people know about what you do necessarily. Especially, can I just be honest, as Black people, it's just not something that we are aware of. And I think it's great that there's people like yourself and your colleagues who I know are Black who are doing this. And I think it's important to educate people on these types of things, and maybe have more people interested in these, and I think it'll be good. You
Yeah,
know, maybe the
definitely.
more sort of like investigators we have, the less lions we have in people's yards, you know?
Yeah, but I think people need to be aware, because remember, the earth, it belongs to all of us. Like, it comes straight from the Constitution, section 24, if you want to look it up. Everyone has the same rights as your rich person, and to the very person on the street. We've got the right to a clean and a healthy environment. So if one company or one person is taking that right away from you by polluting because they want to make more money, it's unconstitutional. Oh, my English. And my bundles are finished.
I think it's time. It's time.
Yeah, so the environment belongs to all of us. I mean, as soon as we're all aware of it, I mean, we better take care of it. A simple thing like throwing a paper outside your window, guys, like
I
that
don't
irritates
get it when people
me.
do that.
KFC lovers, guys, what's happening? Like,
KFC lovers.
oh, sure, there's like lots of people
No,
throwing.
but I also see people throwing things outside of the window. And okay, I'm not condoning it by any means, right? But I feel like if it's some way like in the just like a normal road, I don't know, I feel like somehow it's a bit better. But when it's happening on like a freeway, I'm just like, what during this freeway drive? Because normally freeways there's no stop.
Yeah.
What made you take this can and just throw it out the window? I feel like it's so dangerous, not only for the environment, but
For the next car.
For the next car. And I see people doing it, and I just don't understand why people still litter so just so brazenly. Sorry about that, guys. Actually, the camera stopped recording because that's just how much we were talking. So we're gonna just try wrap it up.
Yes.
There's so much to learn. It's so interesting, and I think that's why I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an interview, but because I really feel like I've learned a lot, and I love how you just shared so much with us. Any parting words?
Thank you.
Any plans for the future?
Thank you so much, firstly, for inviting me. I love talking. I love talking about my job. I mean, I think that's one of the few topics that I'm actually confident about. I love it.
Thank you for coming.
For future, I mean, let's try to take care of this earth. I mean, it belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to the rich, doesn't belong to the poor. It's all of us. Let's treat it like you would treat your house, a normal person's house. If you would clean it often, you clean around. If you have time, please volunteer. Volunteer in any animal shelter. It doesn't have to be wild animals. Any animal shelters, any type of NGOs that you can think of nearby. Please, we always need help, especially when it comes to abandoned animals. Please also report crimes. Zee said she'll put out my details or the organization that I work for details. Report any environmental crime, no matter how you think it's silly. We'll be the ones to confirm whether your complaint was silly or not. But please, be safe. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't talk about global warming because we're not going to finish. We're not gonna finish.
I might have to have Tlangi back on my channel, and I do hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you found it informative, and thank you so much for watching until the very end. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to subscribe, to give this a thumbs up, especially because I mean Tlangi came all the way, guys. She drove here and shared so much information with us, so I think I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. Share the video with other people. It's quite informative, as you witnessed. There's so much that I was like, and I'm sure you were also just like, what, so share the video with other people. And yeah, let me close it off right here. I'll see you in my next one. Until then, take care, love and light to you all.